Hi guys, hope you're all well. So today I'm going to be talking about breastfeeding and basically what it was like 2 weeks postpartum after I'd given birth. So I'd already spoken in my last video about having a C-section and the pain and the recovery process. And so I just thought, I'd talk a little bit about what breastfeeding was like and all that stuff. So first of all, when we were still at the hospital, the first 2 to 3 days, it's actually colostrum that's coming out of your breasts. And that's because the baby's stomach is like really tiny. And colostrum is very, very fatty. And that's actually enough to sustain the baby for the first few days. But my hospital is now getting a bit hazy. And I've heard that this whole thing happens where your childbirth, you kind of forget so that you can do it all over again. But yeah, anyway, it was a bit hazy. But I remember that there was a day, I don't know if it was the second day, where I think the baby wouldn't latch properly to the boob. And I just remember him crying a lot. And then I had to use, I think because he wouldn't latch, so then they gave me this like little syringe, no needle, for you to manually express. So to manually express, you take, you go up your areola and then you'd press it and then let a little bit of the colostrum come out, and then you'd suck it through the syringe. And literally it just took ages, but I was able to feed him with that because I was just very, very adamant that I just wanted to exclusively breastfeed. I didn't want to introduce formula. Obviously, I'm not crazy. If the baby is starving and it's not working, I would have introduced formula. But I really made that choice about just exclusively breastfeeding just because of, what I've read up on it and the fact that your breast milk contains like antibodies and all the benefits and all the nutrients it has for your baby. So I just wanted to give that a whirl. Now, I can completely understand why a lot of mothers quit breastfeeding quite quickly because it's a lot of work. You're like a tap. The child is crying and, I'm not saying that every single cry means the baby's hungry, but you are literally on tap. So it's very difficult to try and arrange your life because everything is now centered around your baby. So even if you go out, how long are you going out for if you're going to exclusively breastfeed? And by me saying exclusively breastfeeding, I also pump. So it's still breast milk, but someone else can give my son the bottle if I'm not in, if I've gone out for an appointment or whatever, or if I've just gone out to have some time off. Mothers need some time off too. So in the first week, the midwife comes to the house to weigh the baby. Now, in the first week, a lot of babies tend to lose weight, and that's perfectly normal. I think they lose 10%. They can lose up to 10%. If they lose more than 10%, that's not good. I think we have to go back to the hospital and maybe they figure out what's wrong, or I don't know what happens anyway. So they came and they weighed him and he'd lost a little bit of weight. So they scheduled to come back in 2 days to make sure he'd gained the weight. And I just remember kind of panicking because I felt guilty. I was like, oh my gosh, he's not eating enough. I'm not feeding him enough. And I kid you not, I was literally, even before they came, I was feeding so much, but I think it wasn't for long enough because he would fall asleep at the boob, and what the midwife actually recommended was that, sorry, I'm getting a bit cold. What the midwife actually recommended was that you should find ways to wake the baby up and all that kind of stuff, like take off his clothes and tickle him and, play with his ears and all that kind of stuff so that he continues to feed. So in those 2 days, I was feeding like crazy. And that's the other thing about, me saying that mothers who quit, I can completely understand, is because apart from the fact that the time it takes, it's also the pain, especially at the beginning, because you're trying to get used to it. You're trying to get the latch on properly. When he latches, it was very painful for me. I was using nipple cream like crazy to soothe it. But literally, it was Mine didn't get bloody. I heard that some people's get bloody, but I was feeding so much that it got so painful, and then like the nipple would just get like sore, and then by the next day it would like have crossed it over slightly, and then you're thinking, is he going to be eating like my sore nipple? Like the whole thing was just, wasn't very nice, not nice at all. But it was, I did feel guilty. I thought, oh no, he's lost weight. He hadn't lost up to 10%. But then I just thought, you know, I don't want to have to take him to hospital. Then am I going to look like a bad mother and all that kind of stuff? So anyway, they came 2 days later and he put on weight. It was fine. But what I will say, for me, breastfeeding is very, very fulfilling. It does require a lot of work. I can basically tell you what I spend my days doing. So if I'm not feeding him from the breast, I'm either pumping, I'm nursing, pumping, trying to get him to put him down for a sleep, rocking him, sterilizing. So there are times where I'm just sitting down to have a moment, but I know in the back of my head I'm supposed to be doing something. So it is a lot, basically. And then you're not getting any sleep at night because, you know, you have to feed them in the middle of the night, and man, it is hard work. But I still find it very fulfilling, especially, you know, when he's on the boob, and then especially when he's falling asleep and he's just getting all tired and it looks like he's drunk off milk. It's the cutest thing, the cutest thing. I'll tell you what was really weird, really weird. The first day it happened to me. So obviously as time goes on, you start to produce more milk. Especially for me when I started expressing. So now when I express, like, the bags are quite full that I use. I'll show you that in a second. Well, I don't have the bag, but whatever. I'll show you what I mean. I forgot. Sorry, I turned the thing off and I had to say this again. Expressing. So I have this thing which is really, really cool. A friend recommended it. It's a vest because I like express both breasts at the same time. So I'm not quite sure how well you can see this. So I bought this vest. Bought it on Amazon, and you strap it on, it zips up in the middle, and basically I use my Medela breast pump, or whatever breast pump you have. So I have two, so I can express both boobs at the same time. So basically there's like a cone thing that you put in through the middle, and then you attach the rest of it, the pumps, and at the bottom you can put the bottles here. I don't use the Medela bottles because I just don't like the way no, it just doesn't work. So I actually use a bag. You can buy the Medela bags, whatever bag that fits basically, and I express, and then that's it. And then basically I can use the milk whenever I want. You can put it in the fridge, or you can put it in the freezer for it to last longer. So yeah, so anyone who wants to express or whatever, I think I would definitely recommend this, especially so that when you're using it you can actually do other things. Make yourself a cup of tea, make yourself a cup of coffee, do some work, I don't know, do something, but you can do other things, you know, basically sterilize some more bottles, etc, etc. So this was a really, really good buy for me, definitely. And I remember I was sleeping, and his Moses basket is at the foot of my bed, not on the bed, obviously, in a Moses basket holder on a stand. And he woke up and he was crying. It was very early, probably like 6 a.m. He was crying, you know, hungry to get fed. And I remember getting out of the bed, and I felt like water on my foot. I remember thinking, and I looked up at the ceiling thinking, where's the water coming from? Then I was thinking, am I sweating? What's going on? And then I look and I turn the light on, and my breasts were leaking, and I was just like, this is really strange and kind of incredible at the same time. So when he cries, it's like my breasts are just like, psst, psst, feed me. Yeah, and that happens quite a lot. And then the other thing is, so if like I've expressed and, you know, emptied out the milk and waiting for more milk to come in, there are times where maybe like 30 minutes, an hour later, I can just feel like my boobs tingling. It's very strange. Like I don't want to say the sinews, I don't know what it is. I can just feel things working, and I'm just thinking, ooh, the milk is coming in. The milk is coming in. I'm like, let me hide my stomach. The milk is coming in. The milk is coming in. It is really bizarre, but it's the human body is incredible. The other thing I would say, apart from breastfeeding, just, like I said, 2 weeks postpartum, what I found really, really interesting or funny is trying to do things when he's asleep, trying to do things quickly. So the other day, he was asleep in my bedroom, and I was like, okay, great, let me go have a shower. First of all, now to have a shower is like you're having a shower in how many minutes? In a few minutes, because you're just trying to do it as quickly as possible, because you can't be mid-shower. Well, okay, this is what happened to me. So basically, he he woke up, and I think I just put soap, sponge, and I was lathering up, and I just heard the monitor was in the bathroom. I just heard wah, wah, and I was like, oh, and no one was home, and he literally ran out. I just with my towel picked him. I was just like, oh my days, oh my goodness. So yeah, just trying to fit things in when he's asleep and trying to be proactive with my time, basically. The other thing is when I'm breastfeeding, a lot of the times, if I'm going to burp him or whatever, I just notice I'll just be walking around and like my boobs just hanging out because I've completely forgotten to put it back, which is just a little bit embarrassing, but it's just family that's around, which is fine. The other good thing, which I really, really love, are these tops, nursing tops, especially if I'm out somewhere and I'm breastfeeding him. I usually wear, like, there's this thing you use to kind of hide your boob and hide him, because I don't really want to be whipping my boob out and just be, it just depends on the place as well. I'm a bit modest. So these where it just comes off like this. So can you see this? And if you just unhook it, and that's it, it just comes off. This is actually a bra, but it just comes off quickly, just like that. And then you can just pick it back. And it's the same thing with the bra, where you just unhook. So yeah, that's basically it. That's breastfeeding from my angle. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask, please feel free. And like I said, if it didn't work for you and you had to do formula, like, go on, because also I don't know how long I'm going to exclusively breastfeed for. I would like to do it for as long as possible, not like when he's 2 and has teeth and like a full set of teeth and is like, mommy, I want breast. No. If you've done that, that's your prerogative. I'm not judging, but no, when he's walking and talking, better stay away from these. Yeah, so I wonder when I'll start introducing formula. That's the other thing with breast milk, like, he won't, formula is fattier, so babies on formula apparently tend to sleep longer, especially through the night. So anyway, it's all new and amazing, and I'm happy and I'm blessed. And I'm happy that I can breastfeed, that's actually an option for me, because I know a lot of women actually can't, like their milk didn't come in, or it was just they'd express not that much would come in. So and I drink a lot of water, a lot. You have to stay hydrated. That also helps with your milk. What else? Oh yeah, the other thing about the first 2 weeks after having the baby was that so you're a new parent, and the baby's basket, Moses basket, cot, whatever, is right next to you in the room, right? And there were so many times, like, my husband would say, first of all, what I want to say is it's really good when there's like one calm person and maybe one person who is, not that they're not calm, but is like, oh, why does this stuff happen? So my husband would ask me, why is he breathing like this? Why is he making that sound? Why is he, and I'll never forget, we were in bed and it was like middle of the night and he'd just fallen asleep and he was making some noises, and my husband was like, why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? And I was like, babe, it's fine. I was like, he's a baby. Those are the noises they make. And he was like, okay, turned around to sleep. And I'm lying there thinking, I hope that those are the noises that they make. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And I'll just quickly lie in bed, take my phone, and I'll start Googling baby noises to make sure, like, I just thought, it's better for one of us to be like, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. But now, you get used to it, you understand the sounds, you know what you can kind of figure out why the baby's crying or what this sound means and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I just thought that was really funny, because I thought, well, now he's going to know that I didn't know what I was talking about and I was using Google. Or any other search engine to check. Yeah, so like I said, if you've got any questions, let me know. Just any comments, let me know. Make sure you subscribe to my page, my channel, Marcy's Projects, and I will see you guys soon.